Or to this, a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is, this is the future of immigration enforcement. Guys, I've heard a couple of things about like alligators and like putting them in water and all types of just absolute wildness. Guys, I want to hear this. All right, because I, I just want to hear this. Let's go and see what this takes us, guys, because this one may be a wild one.
But now CCOT's got competition.
Okay.
Alligator Alcatraz. DeSantis is launching the detention center with swamp security. They had an open house this morning. Watch.
I mean, this is going to be, illegals will come in, they'll be processed. Okay. There'll be places for them to be housed. You'll have an ability for food. You'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that, because there is a process that's involved with this. So this is really everything. This is going to be a self-contained little area. And then, of course, you also have stuff for the staff that work here. So we've got laundry facilities, we've got showers, we've got, obviously, there you see the shower and bath facility. And by Tuesday, this will be able to have intake of illegals.
Jose better not bust out a crock rock. If he does, he better bring his flippers, because ice skaters are lurking.
Oh, my God.
This is as secure as it gets. I mean, if a criminal alien were to escape from here somehow, I don't think they will. You've got nowhere to go. I mean, what are you going to do? Trudge through the swamp and dodge alligators on the way back to 50, 60 miles just to get to civil?
Bro, he is a walking meme. I'm listening to this, and I'm absolutely appalled here. I have no idea how this is going to work here, right? But I guess you can have a prison kind of anywhere, I guess, if that makes any sense here, right? But I can definitely see this being heard in front of the hog.
Civilization, not going to happen.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem joins
Let's see
me
where
now.
this
Okay,
goes,
Secretary,
guys.
we had a little problem with some criminal migrants up in New Jersey. They broke out of a detention center. Was the idea to put it near a swamp so it was more secure and you didn't really have to have the taxpayers pay extra for security?
Well, ever since President Trump came into office, he encouraged us to build relationships with governors and with local law enforcement to go out there and help us with these enforcement activities. So we've been doing that on arrests and detainments. And now this is absolutely fantastic. This first idea came to us from the Attorney General of Florida, who approached us with the idea. Governor DeSantis is following through on it. I think it's absolutely perfect because this is a state that is stepping up. And I have recently gone to the Republican Governors Association and gone and talked to all the governors in this country about how they can help us more get criminals.
Bro, this is the most Florida thing I've ever heard in my entire life, guys. And I mean that. And I'm telling you guys, like, the most Florida thing you will ever hear in your life is this right here. All right.
And gone and talked to all the governors in this country about how they can help us more get criminals off of our streets. And Florida is helping us out with detention beds and helping us get people that we have detained in a situation to where they can get on a flight and get out of this country. And listen, Jesse, by you calling these guys bad hombres, they really are. I was talking to a U.S. Marshal just yesterday, and he was talking about the fact that they were deporting a plane load of illegals, and one of them was a cannibal. And he kind of said it offhanded. And I said to him, what do you mean it was a cannibal? And he said, well, we put him on the plane, put him in his seat, and he started to eat his own arms.
I mean, does that count as that though? Because, like, to my knowledge, you can technically do that to yourself. It's wild, right? But to my knowledge, you can absolutely do that to yourself. You just can't do it to someone else, right? I think those are rules. See, regardless of how crazy that sounds, there are actual, like, rules in place for that type of absolute oddball activity.
He was such a deranged individual. This is the kind of people that President Trump is getting off of our streets, people who are murderers and rapists and are deranged individuals that we are working to get out of this country as fast as possible. So Alligator Alcatraz is the future. This is states who are stepping up and helping us solve this problem of making sure that when we arrest these people, they have somewhere to go to be processed so that we can get them out of this country and face the consequences for their crimes.
Secretary, was this bad hombre like handcuffed to something and he was trying to chew his arm off so he could escape? Or was he just hungry?
Does every single illegal immigrant speak Spanish?
You know, what bothered me the most was that this U.S. Marshal just said it like it was normal. These are the kind of people they have to work with every single day when they're deporting people out of this country. So they had him, put him on the plane and had him in shackles for the flight because he was such a dangerous individual. And when he got back to his seat and put another individual in the seat near, close to him, he said he literally was eating his own arms.
Jeez,
that
guys,
for
relax.
him, he was, that is what he did. He called himself a cannibal, ate other people, and ate himself. Well, they had to take him off of the flight and get him medical attention, and then he went back into the system. But
why even bother?
They have
at that time?
What our law enforcement do, what our ICE officers and Border Patrol, these marshals, what they do is God's work. It really is. They are bringing our communities much more safety. And I'll be down at Alligator Alcatraz here in just a couple of days when it opens. I'll be there to see the first people processed, and I'm looking forward to it because this is what we need. The federal government and the same old contractors and the same old people who've always done this job for years and years isn't always the answer. The taxpayers deserve to have a partnership that's responsive to people, that's affordable, that does it to a very high standard. And that is exactly what Florida is doing here.
All right. Well, we look forward to you breaking ground on this facility. And maybe the president was right when he was saying they're opening up the insane asylums and sending them across the border. I think this proves that. I think the media should listen.
Okay, guys. How do I feel about this? Okay, because I'm just trying to process this. All right. I've never heard anything like this here, guys. I know the international community is going to lose their mind over it. That's why I say that this conversation is going to definitely be had at the Hague. I can almost imagine, specifically if something actually happens to someone, I can imagine that here. Now, don't get me wrong here. I understand the concept of having to imprison someone and absolutely under no circumstance wanting them to escape, guys. But there are high multiples of gigantic prison ships that were basically created via our tax dollars that are just sitting in ports like around the country. I think there's one most recently in New York here, guys. Okay, and a ship wouldn't work. Like a ship wouldn't. I mean, I get it. Potentially, you can swim a distance, but what if I don't know, bro. I'm trying to think about this here, guys. The Alligator Alley sounds crazy, bro. All right. But I know it absolutely will stop people from trying to escape, guys. It definitely will. It 100% will. I mean, like if you escape that, bro, good luck. Unless you are someone who can deal with an alligator. There are some people who absolutely can, right? Maybe not in large quantities of them, but if you know how to deal with them, you can, right? But you're banking on the fact that they have no knowledge on how to survive and how to spot them in the water and how to get away from them and things like that. But if something happens to someone who tries to escape, I get it, bro. All bets are off. Like, I mean, what type of warning or like intake are you gonna have with these guys? Like, hey, listen, bro, there are alligators everywhere. If you escape, that's on you. Okay, that is on you. And also, how do you keep the other people safe? Like specifically the workers there. How do you keep them safe from this? There's so many questions here because however they get in, I'm thinking that also could be a way out for someone trying to escape. Just a thought here, guys. Okay, unless they just live there year round and they never leave and you never get food brought. How are you doing this? How are you doing this here? Right? There are a lot more questions that I have to kind of ask here because again, the same way the employees are going to get in, they can also escape through. Specifically, if there's no alligators here. Like, do they lift the alligators up or shoo them away? So the people, is it a ring of alligators? I have so many questions here, guys. All right, I'm telling you, it's a wild one. This is definitely happening in Florida. Okay, but either way, let's go. If you have, I'm flustered. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest here. This is a wild one for me. Okay, but guys, listen. If you have any issues here, you want to give me some comments, guys, let's go ahead and comment things up and I'll respond to as many of you guys as humanly possible because if you guys have any more insight, is it going to be an alligator moat? I have so many questions here. Like, how do the employees get out? Either way, guys, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm all over the place here, guys. I'm telling you this. Um, I'm so all over, all just like all over the place right now. Okay, thorough research is going to happen immediately. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later.